Hey, what's happening, YouTube? Welcome back. Appreciate you being here with me. I really do. Appreciate that. It means a lot to me. Anyhow, hope your day was going good today. Mine went pretty well. Uh, man, it's cold today. It's been cold today for some reason. Nice and sunny, clear skies, but cold. Some of us don't like to be cold. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I had a good day today. You know what I'm saying? Went above and beyond. Like we talked about yesterday. Went above and beyond today. Felt good as usual. What about you? Hope you did the same. Hope you did the same. Man, checked in on your loved ones yet? Recently? Give them a buzz. Check on them and see how they're doing. It's a good day for that. Right after this video. Not right now. Anyhow. Yeah, I'm just brainstorming what I'm gonna bring you today, and don't have too much. Not too much going on. It's a Monday. But I do have a story for you though. Or three. How about that? How about that? Before I get into them though, go ahead and hit that like button for me. If you get time, put a little comment at the bottom too. Say hello to me. Say what's up. Let me know you see me. Put what you like about the channel. Put what you don't like about the channel. I respect that too. I'll take it all. You know what I'm saying? I was thinking back to the time when I was a young man. And I had joined the military. I think I mentioned that before. I was in the United States Navy, as you probably recall. And I was assigned to a aircraft carrier, USS Abraham Lincoln, CVN number 72. Almost forgot. What that basically means is it's a nuclear-powered aircraft carrier. Number 72, they make them and create them in series. So I believe they're up to number 70. Wow, I think 78. They might be up to number 78 on the aircraft carriers. So anyhow, I was assigned to this particular aircraft carrier. And my title was MSSN, which is Mess Specialist Seaman. In other words, I was a cook. Hey man, somebody got to cook. Right? People got to eat, somebody got to cook. So it's a pretty prestigious position to be in the military. A lot of perks come with that. You know what I mean? But anyhow, to begin one of the stories I wanted to present to you, got a little prop for you first of all. Yeah, buddy. This is not an aircraft carrier, first of all. I know that. You know that. This is just a military ship my son happened to have, and he let me borrow this for this example, for this story time and scenario. So there was a time, somewhere between 1992 and 95, the year ranges that I was in the service. We used to go out on these cruises. Sometimes we would go out for 6 months at a time. Leave, touch back home 6 months later. It was nice. It was cool. It was fun. Kind of sucked, missing home at times. But, the experience was cool. You know what I mean? We used to go out to San Diego a lot. When we went overseas, we went to Hong Kong, Singapore, Dubai, Australia. I think there might have been one other place I can't recall at this time. But I remember one instance, we were just sailing along. Sailing along. And for some reason, we went through a patch of fog, a thick patch of fog, really, really thick. I don't believe the captain even knew where we were. And if I recall correctly, we were somewhere near Australia, heading into it, or leaving it, one of the two. But we're in this thick realm of fog in the open ocean. And, we're all working. All the crew was working like normal. And when we started to break through the fog, unbeknownst to the captain, obviously, and unbeknownst to the crew, we found ourselves in the middle, smack dead middle of the America's Cup. It just happened to be going on at that particular time in the middle of that particular ocean near Australia. I believe it was Australia, if I recall correctly. So we're just trucking, shipping, sailing, going through some fog, break through the fog, and we're in the middle of a race. Can you believe that? A sailboat, humongous, national, countrywide race held amongst different countries all over the world. The best sailors in the world, basically. And they're all battling for the World Cup. Or excuse me, the America's Cup. And guess who interrupts their nice little race? We do. Some big aircraft carrier comes out of the blue, along with the battle group. Aircraft carriers always travel with a battle group. So 6, 7 other ships that surround the aircraft carrier at all times. Battleships such as this, and a various other amount of ships, as well as submarines. But of all places to end up in the middle of an America's Cup, world-known sailboat race. What an experience. I think we made the news in a couple newspapers that particular day. So there were some good experiences that I had while in the Navy. Excuse me. Again, I did 3.5 years. My enlistment was for 4 years total. At the time, they were downsizing. So if you wanted to, you had the opportunity to get out 6 months early. So, of course, I got out 6 months early. So it was something that was I needed to do at that time in my life. I think I had mentioned before I didn't want to do any further schooling after high school. I made sure I graduated first. But I didn't see college in my perspective after high school. So enough about that. There was another instance while in the military, sailing alone. One of those particular instances, let's bring this guy back into the picture, was while out to sea, of course. On an aircraft carrier, there's planes all along the upper deck of the ship. What these planes do is take off, fly around, come back and land. Take off, fly around, come back and land. They do this several times a day for several hours. This particular day, they happened to have a female pilot who was piloting one of the aircraft. I'm not sure her ranking, whether it was lieutenant, lieutenant commander. I'll be guessing if I try to recall what her ranking was. But I do know, and I do recall, today was her first day landing on an aircraft carrier. I'm sure that was an exciting moment, a lot of anticipation on her part. However, there was a huge challenge that she didn't foresee she would have to overcome trying to land on an aircraft carrier. You see, sometimes when you're out to sea, you have no control of the weather. You have no control over the current of the ocean. So this day, even though an aircraft carrier is extremely heavy and can handle rough seas, normally in a stable position. But I believe it might have even been a storm brewing, because the seas were very rough and unpredictable. So on this particular day, as the Navy pilots were doing their test runs, taking off, landing, taking off, landing on our particular ship. Our ship was bobbing and weaving in the ocean. I hope you're able to see this. So we're going to call her a lieutenant. This particular lieutenant took off from the flight deck as planned. Ship is steady in motion, trying to deal with the rough seas. Her plane comes in for landing on the flight deck. Again, rough seas. I'm a cook. The cooks, their berthing or their sleeping area is at the very rear of the ship, right underneath the flight deck. So after a long day of cooking, performing my duties, the kitchen crew were in our berthing areas where we sleep and hang out and do whatever we need to do before going to bed. So night flight ops was going on. And as I stated, this lieutenant was coming in for a landing at night on a ship that's bobbing and weaving in rough waters. She approached the ship, I'm assuming as they normally do. Unfortunately, with her landing gear down on all three wheels, as it should be, instead of coming in, landing smoothly on the flight deck, the ship dipped and rose and dipped. And as she came in, the ship rose, clipping her front wheels of her plane, which of course caused the plane to rotate in a vertical position. Natural instinct, I'm assuming, for an aircraft pilot is to pull the ejection pod, which throws open the canopy for the plane, the seat, shoots the pilot out and away from the airplane. But you have to remember, her plane is not horizontal. She clipped the back of the ship, excuse me. Her plane is now vertical. She pulled the ejection cord. Instead of shooting up away from the plane, She did shoot away from the plane. However, she shot forward across the length of the ship. Needless to say, she perished. That was her first and last attempt at landing a jet fighter on an aircraft carrier as a military pilot. Very unfortunate. It's a very unfortunate situation to happen to anyone, but especially someone who's trying to make a career for themselves. This was a female pilot who's probably done thousands of landings at a base. I'm sure she needed to upgrade her skills to landing onto a ship. Sometimes things happen in life that are out of our control. And you have to realize that. No matter how good you are at something, no matter how many times you've done something, no matter how well you've planned for something, some things are just gonna happen regardless. I pray that her family is still recovering and has recovered from that particular incident. I'm sure they'll never be made whole again, but I pray that some level of comfort has come into their lives. So, live life to the fullest. Keep your head up. And be the best person you can be. Man, that hit home. That hit home. I didn't think it was going to hit home like that. But it's a sad situation. But unfortunately, or fortunately, life goes on. You know, sometimes bad things happen to us in our lives, but we learn from our mistakes, or we learn to somehow try to avoid those bad things from happening again. But to continue on with the experience, the Navy taught me a lot of things. Taught me how to be a man, a better man. Taught me to experience life whenever possible in different ways. As a matter of fact, there's one last story I had for you also while in the Navy. I think I mentioned we went to Dubai, which is in the Persian Gulf. You may not know this, but in the 90s, 1992, 93, Dubai was not what it is today. Dubai was not a tourist destination back then like it is today. Dubai did not have any amount of money back then that they have today. It's the richest country in the world. If you're not familiar with it, you should look it up. The infrastructure over there is amazing. But in the 90s, when I say nothing but desert and heat, and when I say heat, I'm talking 120 degrees on average type of heat. But we visited Dubai for a day or two, what have you. I recall going into a mall. Yeah, they had a mall. They had a mall. Typical mall. Everything you would want in a mall. You can actually buy gold in this particular mall. You can buy fragrances, the actual oils to all the colognes and perfumes they sell out there in the world. The actual oils to those perfumes and fragrances. You could have purchased those back then in the mall. Cheap, because you're buying the actual oil, which will last a whole lot longer than the watered down perfume or cologne. But it was hot. I can't stress enough how hot it was. As soon as you walked off the ship, you felt it. You felt it. You felt that heat, man. It was almost unbearable. But in this particular mall, I don't recall the name of it. You would not believe what they had inside this mall. Take a guess. Never mind, you can't figure it out. You'll never figure it out. In the desert of Dubai, within the walls of a mall, they actually had a ice skating rink. How you do that? I don't know how they did that, but they did that. That's Dubai for you. This place had an ice skating rink in the middle of the desert with 120 degree heat. Man, that's luxury right there. But no such luxury in comparison to the way Dubai is in 2025. Man, everyone wants to go to Dubai and experience it. You got to be careful when you go to Dubai, though. They have strict laws for individuals, whether you're a visitor or a resident or a native, should I say. Be very careful when you go to Dubai. If you're a woman, you have to be very conservative, even as a visitor. Simply spitting on the ground can land you in jail. You have to be very respectful of everyone out there. Crime is almost non-existent. You wouldn't believe the type of cars the police drive in. High-end luxury cars. Lamborghinis. Mercedes. Ferraris. Aston Martins. Doesn't matter. And that's just the police department. It's high-end luxury out there. Whatever you can dream of, they have it in Dubai. But that's just a few experiences I've had while in the military. Create your own experiences. Consider joining yourself, or not, or not. It's not for everybody. It's not for everybody. But this is a quick one, everyone. So if you don't mind, simply hit like for me. I would love to hear back from you. Again, a simple hello. A simple whatever. Thank you for spending your time with me. Remember over here, we keep it all the way peanut. Peace out.